With the Echo series premiering in a couple of days, we Defendersverse fans are rejoicing. Hi, this is Tia, your content manager for Geek Vibes Nation, with another Top 10 with Tia. Do you all remember how great 2015 was when the Daredevil series first hit Netflix? And do you remember the sadness that came over all of us when all of the Defendersverse shows were canceled? We really didn't know when, if ever, we'd see these actors and characters again. Well, we've seen Charlie Cox reprise his role as Matt Murdock in both Spider-Man No Way Home and She-Hulk, while we've seen Vincent D'Onofrio reprise his role as Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, in the Hawkeye show. Personally, I'm excited for Echo, not only because we'll see both in this show, but because it generally looks like a good show. Alaqua Cox did a great job as Maya Lopez in Hawkeye, and it looks like she fits perfectly within the feel of a Netflix-style Marvel show. Also, let's rejoice because with the latest Kingpin-centered preview utilizing scenes from Daredevil, we now know that this universe is canon with the MCU, which means John Bernthal's Punisher is canon too, so I'm happy. Anyway, on to the top 10 moments from Daredevil. Number 10. Foggy de-escalating the two criminals in the hospital. From season 2, Foggy Nelson is just as much as part of the Daredevil lore as anyone else. His scenes are amazing. This scene is a result of the Punisher's rampage, and tensions are escalating with two criminals about to go at it in the middle of a hospital. With quick wits and some sass, Foggy calms the two down and is able to prevent further bloodshed. Number 9. Foggy and Matt becoming avocados at law. I love the flashback scenes we get in the show. Seeing how Foggy and Matt click and how they met is just wholesome. No matter what, these two remain the best and most natural of friendships in all of the Marvel Universe, for me. It tore me apart when the two were at odds, as we can tell that from the current scenes and flashbacks that they're simply the two best of friends. Number 8. Bullseye in the Daredevil suit, fighting Daredevil at the New York Bulletin. Season 3 was just perfection, and they really upped the ante with someone like Bullseye. I absolutely love the way this whole scene and fight sequence was choreographed. It left me with dread, and I was on the edge of my seat. It reminded me why I always consider Daredevil to have the best fight scenes in any of the Marvel Netflix shows. Number 7. Fisk threatening Matt in prison in season 2. We didn't get a whole lot of Wilson Fisk in season 2, but what we did get was amazing. Matt confronts Fisk while he's serving time in prison, and at first, Matt has the upper hand. He's smug, knowing that all he needs to do is name drop Vanessa and that he'll get Fisk to comply. Only, Matt underestimates just how powerful Fisk is and how much power he has in prison. The role reversal in this scene as Fisk picks Matt up and says that he'll pay more than the cost of a stamp to ruin his life just gives me chills. Number 6. The 11-minute no-cut fight scene from season 3. Now, Daredevil season 1 hallway fight scene will definitely be higher on this list, but I can't not mention the 11-minute no-cut fight scene in season 3. This was an intense, heart-pumping sequence that followed Matt Murdock on his way through and out of prison. It was bold and well done, and I still can't believe the show pulled it off. Number 5. Karen telling Fisk that she killed Wesley. Now, I love Karen Page, and she's a badass with a background. She's killed Fisk's only friend in season 1, and she and fans always wondered when this would bite her in the ass. Fisk is a powerful man, not just because of the influence he holds, but he's a physically imposing person who is prone to violence. I mean, we all remember the car door scene from season 1. Anyway, when Karen looks Fisk dead in the eye and tells him that it was she who killed Wesley, I was on the edge of my seat. I knew from the comics that Karen dies by Bullseye's hand, so all of season 3 I waited in horror, wondering when she'd meet her end. I thought by her telling Fisk she killed Wesley that this would happen for sure. Luckily it didn't, but it was still a very powerful scene. Number 4. Matt Murdock getting his red suit. Now, I personally like the original suit that Matt was donning all of season 1, but it was incredibly satisfying to see him suited up in the red suit to fight Wilson Fisk at the end of season 1. It felt well earned and was a nice modernized take on his comic book suit. I loved it, and I'm so happy it's coming back in Echo. Number 3, the hallway fight scene in season 1. I mean, this set the precedent for hallway fight scenes in the Defendersverse. That fight scene in the hallway in season 1 was so well done. From the choreography to the intensity to even showing Matt becoming fatigued. It's still god tier for comic book fight scenes, and while every season has had a great version of this, nothing will beat season 1's rendition. Number 2, the Punisher's entrance in season 2. Now, you should know I am a massive John Bernthal as Frank Castle fan. I'm shaking just wondering if we'll see John Bernthal pop up in any project. I don't want to know ahead of time, I just want him to show up. Season 2 had this really great mystery surrounding whoever was taking out all of the criminals in New York City. And when Daredevil finds a gruesome scene left behind, he assumes that it had to have been a group of people to cause this much carnage. When a dying criminal tells Daredevil that there's no they, just he, it's one man, I got chills. And for it to then transition into Frank Castle making his way through the hospital, it was shot so well. Nothing could stop the wrecking ball that was Frank Castle, and the Punisher's storyline in season 2 was so good. I like to nickname season 2 of Daredevil season 1 of The Punisher. Let me know if you feel the same. Number 1, season 3's ending. With Luke Cage and Iron Fist having been canceled prior to the release of season 3 of Daredevil and Disney acquiring Fox, along with the announcement to launch Disney Plus, we as fans had a feeling that the other Defendersverse shows will likely get cut. Unlike Luke Cage and Iron Fist, though, season 3 of Daredevil didn't end on a cliffhanger. It was actually satisfying and could very well have worked as the end of these characters. After Matt, Karen, and Foggy essentially broke up in season 2 and stumbled to resolve their issues in season 3, it felt incredibly heartwarming to see the three sitting down, smiling, and suggesting they do what we all wanted them to do, aka get the band back together. When Nelson and Murdoch was written on a piece of paper, I smiled so widely. It was what we and the characters deserved. Now, there are many amazing moments in Daredevil. It had 3 amazing seasons, and I could have probably made a top 20 going through all of these. But these are just, in my personal opinion, some of the best moments from the show. And I think with Charlie Cox returning as Matt Murdock, and as I said, Vincent D'Onofrio returning as Wilson Fisk, it's important to look back and enjoy what we had before. None of these shows are on Netflix still, but they are luckily on Disney Plus, which I'm very happy about. And as far as I know, they are all maintained, so none of them are rated down or censored to get away from the grittiness that was the Netflix Marvel shows that you don't typically see in the Disney Marvel shows. But Echo looks pretty gritty. It looks good. It's 5 episodes, so it is a miniseries, and it'll be both available on Disney Plus and Hulu. At first, when I heard that it was coming to Hulu, I was a little hesitant because we all know that Hellstrom was released on Hulu essentially as Marvel kind of wanting to just get it out there and not really wanting it to be a part of their Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this will also be released on Disney. It'll be a mini series. It's one of their, I think it's their first spotlight miniseries, and that's cool, honestly, to just give us a little taste of a character that we saw in Hawkeye and to bring back some characters that we've seen in the Netflix shows that Disney, Marvel clearly know that us fans really enjoy. As I said, I'm looking forward to seeing if we'll see more Defendersverse characters pop up. I hope that John Bernthal pops up at some point, and I do hope that other characters from the Defendersverse pop up. I know fans are really excited or just really hoping that someone like Luke Cage pops up, considering his show in particular was so well liked on Netflix that season 1 literally crashed the streaming service. Echo premieres on Disney Plus and Hulu in its entirety on January 9th. We will certainly be doing a review for it, so make sure that you keep an eye out for that. And let me know what some of your favorite scenes from Daredevil and the other Defendersverse show are. In the meantime, this is Tia again from Geek Vibes Nation. If you are not subscribed, please do so. We are releasing a lot of awesome things. With it being now 2024, we're hoping to add even more content, such as a news podcast. So make sure you check out that and all of the amazing things that we have here on Geek Vibes Nation. If you would prefer to read articles as opposed to maybe listening to podcasts, we do have geekvibesnation.com, where we have a lot of amazing written reviews, as well as opinion pieces and other listicles like this. Have a wonderful day. Happy New Year, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.